What do you make of the president saying to Bill Barr, our attorney general, declassify that stuff where the Russia probe started because people should know?
Well, long overdue. You're going to find out the mentality of the people investigating the president. You're going to find out exactly what they did and said, and you'll find out that Papadopoulos was not working with the Russians, and they knew early on that he had no contacts with the Russians.
The FBI knew early on?
Yeah, oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, there'll be some transcripts coming out where he says, well, if you did that, that would be treason. So the bottom line is there's going to be a lot of information about, they were warned about Steele. This is a bad guy. You can't trust him. They blew through every stop sign.
So you're saying what we will find from this will be very damning. I
say that you will be interested in it. Not one Democrat will give a damn.
Will we really get to the bottom of it, though? Because there are a lot of people that don't trust Washington. They're like, my gosh, they've been investigating for so long. Will we actually see the origin of the Mueller investigation?
I want to give you the raw material in a way it won't compromise our national security. Barr is going to look at it from a criminal point of view. Horowitz is going to tell us about the FISA warrant, internally how the Department of Justice and the FBI behaved, and I'm going to look at all of it to make sure it never happens again. I'm going to make sure we have FISA laws that can detect when somebody's giving the court a bunch of garbage. I'm going to make sure we have some rules that you just can't open up a counterintelligence investigation on a presidential candidate without having a good reason.
Well, it makes you wonder, Senator, how many times, if ever, FISA court has been given a bunch of garbage, and they wound up signing off on the warrant.
It makes you wonder, and we need this court because people are out to get us. But the point is, if you can take the law in your own hands for political purposes, it's not good for a democracy. And here's what I think you're going to learn, that the people involved had political motives. They were out to get Trump, and they wanted to help Clinton. And how do you prosecute her if you want her to win? So the reason she wasn't charged, I think, is because they knew that if they charged her, she probably wouldn't win the election.
But she was still going to win. You know, all the people on the TV said she's going to win. We would not be here talking about this if she won.
Yeah, nothing against TV. They were wrong. But the point is, the people in charge of the investigation had a deep-seated bias for her and against Trump, and they ignored stop sign after stop sign because they wanted to get an outcome. And the big thing was they gave her a pass. If you had done what Secretary Clinton had done with classified information, you'd be in jail now.
Forget about it.
Yep. And why isn't she in jail? Because they wanted her to win.
What do you think of the cover of the New Yorker magazine? I think we have a picture of it.
Oh, Shoe Shining?
It's titled The Shining, right. There's you in the back, and then Bill Barr in the middle, and then Mitch McConnell in the front, shining the president's shoes.
Well, the first thing, I need to lose some weight. And nobody seems to be overly happy. But here's the deal. If I'm helping the president, it's good for me because I want him to succeed. If I'm helping the president, it's good for the country because I think I got something to offer to him. And he's doing a really good job. If you want a strong military, you got one. If you want a humming economy, you got one. If you want to take on the enemy differently than Obama did, that's exactly what we're doing. So the Democrats are going to get him reelected. I don't think you can become the nominee of the Democratic Party without embracing impeachment. And if you're a House member of the Democratic caucus, you're going to get a primary if you vote against impeachment because the people who want to impeach this president have lost their mind and they're driving the Democratic Party over an edge between what President Trump has accomplished for this country and how crazy they've become. He's going to get reelected.
Speaking of that, we're hearing things like that from Democrats. They're calling it a cover-up. The question is, how far will they go? Here's Speaker Pelosi.
Now, this time, another temper tantrum. Again, I pray for the President of the United States. I wish that his family or his administration or his staff would have an intervention for the good of the country. The President is engaged in a cover-up, and that is what my statement is. If we can get the facts to the American people through our investigation, it may take us to a place that is unavoidable in terms of impeachment or not. But we're not at that place yet.
Your reaction?
Well, what's unavoidable is that she's going to lose her job if she doesn't embrace impeachment because the people she's in charge of have lost their mind when it comes to Trump. A cover-up. Remember Bob Mueller? Remember that guy?
Yeah.
The guy that everybody trusted. He'll be fair to the country. He'll be fair to the president. You got 400 and something pages. Cover-up. Trump gave 1.4 million documents to the special counsel. His attorney, White House counsel testified for 30 hours. His chief of staff went to testify in front of Mueller, and he answered written interrogatories. What did Donald Trump cover up regarding Mueller? Nothing. Now, if he's fighting back against a bunch of crazy people trying to destroy his life, that's not covering anything up. The House Judiciary Committee is trying to retry the Mueller case. Mueller, to me, was the final word. They actually want to go through everything and do it all over again and get a different outcome. You're not covering anything up when you're fighting a bunch of politicians trying to destroy you and your family. Right. When it came time to cooperate with an independent man of the law, President Trump never claimed executive privilege. Here's what I would say is being covered up, the division in the Democratic Party. When she said, there's no division in the House. Either she's delusional or she's misleading us. 80%, according to Colonel Sanders, the congressman from Tennessee who ate the chicken, said that 80% of the Judiciary Committee is already ready to impeach President Trump as Democrats. The energy in their party is for impeachment. She is putting
you really
lipstick
think they
on.
will? That's terrible politics.
Let me tell you why. If it's between my job and Trump, I'm picking me. You cannot get through a Democratic primary in 2020 without a candidate against you if you do not embrace impeachment. You cannot be their nominee unless you say Donald Trump needs to be impeached, and that's why he's going to win, because most Americans think that's nuts. 53% want to end the Russian investigation, and the president's doing a damn good job with the things that matter to you, keeping you safe, increasing your paycheck, and the best is yet to come. He's got to do infrastructure. Mr. President, don't let these guys goat you into not doing good things for the country. Do infrastructure.
Speaking of the best is yet to come, you want to go outside for the concert series with Gavin DeGraw with us?
There's barbecue.
Absolutely.
All right.
Barbecue's out there.
Senator Lindsey Graham, thank you very much. Real pleasure.